Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a book haul. I've tried to calm down on the book buying and book hauling, but the last couple trips to the bookstore were very fruitful and I found some really good deals, including some deals on special and signed editions, so I wanted to share those with you guys today. So first up, we have a novella that I've been anticipating this whole year, and that is A Psalm for the Wild-Built, a monk and robot book. I've never read anything by Becky Chambers before, but I heard about this book around the beginning of the year and I thought it sounded so interesting. Basically, the premise is that centuries ago, robots gained self-sentience or self-awareness, put down their tools, and wandered off into the wild, never to be seen again. And over time, they become sort of like the subject of myth and legends. And one day, a tea monk is doing his job and his life is upended when he finds a robot coming out of the wilderness. And the robot asks him, "What do humans need?" And I thought this sounds so charming and interesting, and it's a little shorty book, so I believe it's the first in a series, so I'm really excited to jump into this. The little blurbs on the back make it seem like it's just a beautiful, just adorable book, and I'm so excited to get into this. I've been trying to get into more like some sci-fi and stuff lately, and this seems to be a little bit more like on the charming side, so I'm very intrigued to read this one. Next up, we have The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. I've been listening to the audiobook from my library for this one, and I'm about halfway through it, and I'm really enjoying it so far, so I wanted to pick it up and kind of add it to my collection. This is also a signed edition. I believe all the first edition copies of this book are, in fact, signed. I really like this book. John Green, especially narrating the audiobook, kind of adds an extra element to it. I haven't read a lot of his young adult novels. I read The Fault in Our Stars when that was sort of at the peak of its popularity, but I've been following like his Vlogbrothers channel with Hank for a while since I was in high school. I liked all of his like history and English videos, and this feels like kind of a call back to that. This is like a book of essays, so it's not like a fiction book where he reviews things like Diet Dr. Pepper and Canadian geese on a 5-star scale, but also points out the fact that like we haven't been reviewing things on a 5-star scale for very long. So I just thought sounded really cute, and again, I love his narrative voice and just his voice in general, again with the audiobook. So I'm really enjoying this so far, and I'm happy to have it now. I also picked up Ace of Spades. I have heard so many good things about this book. It's been kind of popular on BookTube lately, and I've heard it described as Gossip Girl meets Get Out, and I just thought that premise sounded so interesting. It focuses on these two students who are the like only Black students, I believe, in their boarding school, and I don't think it's like a blog like Gossip Girl is. Yeah, so someone who goes by Aces begins sending anonymous text messages to reveal secrets about the two students that turn their lives upside down and threaten every aspect of their carefully planned futures. So this just sounded really fun. It's like kind of got dark academia vibes as well. So I'm really interested to see what all the hype is about with this one. And yeah, I can't wait to read it. I also picked up another nonfiction book, and that's The Ice Pick Surgeon, Murder, Fraud, Sabotage, Piracy, and Other Dastardly Deeds Perpetrated in the Name of Science by Sam Kean. He's written a couple other sort of like history of science nonfiction books, but this one sounded super interesting to me. It's sort of like the true crimey side of science, which I think is interesting. It's about people who go way too far. And it even opens up with how, like, Cleopatra is rumored to have done, like, a lot of really gruesome experiments on criminals, specifically relating to, like, studying pregnancy, and it just sounds absolutely vile. But yeah, I just thought this sounded so cool. I don't read a lot of nonfiction. I listen to a lot of, like, nonfiction audiobooks, but I am just so intrigued by the premise of this one. And it also touches upon how we handle some of the results of these deeds. Stuff like the science experiments conducted by the Nazis, like, resulted in things that we could, like, actually use. But, like, is it ethical? And I don't know, I think that's just such an interesting topic, and I can't wait to delve into this. I don't know if it's something that I could probably read like all the way through, but maybe like a chapter at a time I think would be super interesting. And yeah, I was really excited when I heard this one was coming out, and I wanted to pick it up right away. The first of sort of a couple really exciting special editions I found was Luster by Raven Leilani, and this is the Waterstones signed exclusive edition. So it's got the UK cover, and it also has these beautiful orange sprayed edges, and it's also signed. So I just thought that was such a great deal for $10 pre-owned. And I'm actually going to be passing this one on to my friend Stephanie. She was really interested in this, and I couldn't pass it up. I just thought this was an excellent find and so exciting. I'm hoping to find some more Waterstones copies at some point, because I really enjoy the UK covers of a lot of books. And again, I was thrilled when I found this. And from the trusty 50-cent bin of my local bookstore, I found The Throne of Fire by Rick Riordan. This is the second book in the Kane Chronicles series. I have the Red Pyramid, and I've had it since it came out, and I've only read it one time, and I remember liking it, but this was like several years ago, and I never continued with the series. And I just finished collecting all the sort of not first editions, but, well, I don't know, it might be first editions. The first covers of all of the Percy Jackson series and the Heroes of Olympus series. And so now I'm kind of slowly collecting the Kane Chronicles. I do want to reread them all at some point. I'm not a huge reader of middle grade fiction, but Rick Riordan holds a special place in my heart. There's a really big nostalgia factor for me, and I love Greek mythology, and I also love Egyptian mythology. When I was a kid, I was actually way more interested in Egyptian mythology than anything else, so I thought the series was so fun, and I can't believe I've only ever read the first book, so this was a great find for 50 cents. There is a little scribble on the bottom, but otherwise the book is in like really good condition, which for middle grade novels, this is sometimes a rarity when you buy them pre-owned. They're usually pretty beat up, so this was really exciting to find for such a great deal. Another signed copy I found was The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman. This was only $4. I was blown away. Usually the hardcover price for pre-owned books at my local bookstore is around $10. I don't know why this one was discounted. I don't see any markings on it, and it's in really good shape. I've been kind of slowly collecting the Practical Magic series from Alice Hoffman. I have Magic Lessons that I also bought pre-owned, but that one again was like $10. So I could not believe when I found a signed copy for $4 from the same store. I just thought that was so exciting. And I believe this follows the story of the aunts from Practical Magic. I still haven't read the book, but I've seen the movie, and I just think it's so charming and fun. So I'm really excited to delve into this series as a whole, probably more around like fall time, since this is kind of like a more moody read. And yeah, so this was such an exciting find. I was blown away by the price. I love hunting for pre-owned books. There's nothing like the high of finding a really good edition of a book for such a good deal. Next up, I got Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I didn't even know this came out in hardcover. Romance novels typically don't, but this one was $3 used, so this is a brand new book, so I was really surprised when I found this one. And again, it's in excellent shape, so this was a really cool find. I really like most of the Christina novel books that I've read, and this one sounded really cool. It has something to do with like an app that you use, like as a dating app, but it like calculates sort of like your match with someone like based on your DNA, I think, which is just so intriguing. And the protagonist of this book tests an unheard of 98% compatibility with another subject in the database, one of the founders of the app itself. So I think that's a really fun premise, and I'm really excited to dip my toes into another Christina Lauren novel. And last up in this little book haul is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. And this is the first edition, like first printing copy with like the black sprayed edges. So this was an incredible find. This is a really popular book series, and it came out quite a few years ago, I think 2015, quite a few years ago. But I got it for $8, which for, again, a first edition copy with sprayed edges is really excellent. I've been trying to find the matching copy of Crooked Kingdom with its red sprayed edges, and they're all really expensive. So I'm gonna keep hunting, hopefully find another good deal on that at some point. But I don't have the first 3 books in the Shadow and Bone series, but I do want to get around to collecting them and reading them at some point. I loved the show. And I have heard that the Six of Crows duology is even better than the first series, so really excited to get into this one. And again, I gasped when I saw this. I'm very attracted to sprayed edges in the first place, and the fact that I found this one with its sprayed edges is just so exciting, and I was so surprised to find this used for such a good price. All right, and that wraps up this mini haul. I have so many new books that I'm so excited to read. I try again not to like buy quite so much, but I find that book buying and book reading are sort of two separate hobbies, and I'm trying to keep up with the pace of what I'm buying, but sometimes they just stack up because you find a lot of really good deals. Let me know down below if you've read any of these, what you think of them, which ones you would maybe want to see me review in the coming future or vlog maybe. And follow my socials down below. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and have a great day. Bye.